All right, we're going to look at question 7. We actually already did one recording on this where we dealt with the fraction last, but I kind of want to deal with it as soon as possible once, just to kind of see different ways to be able to deal with this fraction over here. So we're going to do it one more time like that. I'm going to start by realizing, okay, I need to solve for x here. That's what these answers are telling me to do. And let's just do it. 7 minus 2/3 x less than x minus 8. 7 minus 2/3 x less than x minus 8. And so if you see this fraction, what you can do is say the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this fraction so I don't need to worry about it anymore. And the way I do that is by looking at the denominator and multiplying everybody by that denominator. So let's just do that. Get rid of our fraction first. The reason I didn't do this in the other video right away is because a lot of times people will kind of freak out about this part right here, what we're about to do. So I said I'm going to multiply the whole left side by 3, the whole right side by 3 over here. And since there's a minus sign between the two terms on this side, I know that means I must distribute, and people will often forget that, but I've got to do it. So I'm going to have to distribute this 3 to the 7 and this 3 to the fraction I had there. 3 times 7 will be 21. And then this 3 times the 2/3, the reason I did that was because this 3 will end up canceling out with that third over there. So I'm left with minus 2x. And that's going to be less than, because I had to use inverse operations to get rid of this 3 on the bottom. It had to be to both sides. I've got to also distribute this 3 to both terms over here. It's not multiplying by a negative, so it's going to keep the sign as it is. And I'm going to say, well, 3 times x, that's 3x. 3 times negative 8 is going to be 24. 3 times 7 is 21. I know that another 3 is going to be 24. It's a negative times a positive, so it'll be negative 24. From here, I've got rid of my fraction. I'm happy we dealt with that distribution. So now we can just kind of start solving this like a plain old problem. I'm going to start by moving all my x's to one side. If I move from here to here, they'll be positive, which I prefer. You could move that 3x over. But I'm just going to say, all right, plus 2x to both sides. That will cancel. So then I'm left with 21 is less than 5x minus 24. I'm going to add this 24 to both sides. Plus 24 to both sides. Negative 24 plus 24 becomes 0, so I can cancel that out. 20 and 20 is 40. 1 plus 5. 21 plus 24 should be 45 is less than 5x. And we already had a 45 and a 5 in the last time we did this. Let's just do it. Divide 5 from both sides to get the x alone. Oops. Let me make that 5 look a little nicer. 5 divided by 5 will cancel. I'm left with x. That's why we did the inverse that way. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. We've got 9 is less than x. And if I want to flip-flop this to get the x on the first side, the left side of it, I'll flip-flop everything. Flip it all over. This becomes x is greater than 9. X is greater than 9. And let's just double check. That is answer choice 1. X is greater than 9. That is our correct answer. So now we've seen 2 different ways to deal with this kind of question. Fractions, they've always got a little bit of extra steps, but you can deal with them.